This is News Always On. According to a BBC report, the US Supreme Court has ruled in favor of a baker in Colorado who refused to make a wedding cake for a gay couple. The Colorado State Court had found that baker Jack Phillips' decision to turn away David Mullins and Charlie Craig in 2012 was unlawful discrimination. But the Supreme Court ruled on Monday that decision had violated Mr. Phillips' the baker's right in a 7-2 vote. The conservative Christian cited his religious beliefs in refusing service. Gay rights groups feared a ruling against the couple could set a precedent for treating gay marriages differently to heterosexual unions. Though the court ruled in favor of Mr. Phillips, the baker, the decision does not state that florists, photographers, or other services can now refuse to work with gay couples. Instead, the verdict focuses specifically on Mr. Phillips' case. The ruling comes 3 years after the Supreme Court made same-sex marriage the law of the land in its landmark 2015 decision on Obergefell v. Hodges. Well, what did the Monday ruling say? The Supreme Court's majority opinion said the Colorado Civil Rights Commission has been biased against Mr. Phillips. The verdict said that the Commission had shown evidence of hostility towards religion during public hearings. The Commissioner said the ruling had implied religious beliefs, quote, are less than fully welcome in Colorado's business community. The ruling said, the Civil Rights Commission's treatment of Mr. Phillips' case has some elements of a clear and impermissible hostility toward the sincere religious beliefs that motivated his objection. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote that while Colorado law can protect gay persons in acquiring products and services on the same terms and other conditions that are offered to other members of the public, the law must be applied in a manner that is neutral toward religion. The High Court's opinion also cited the following comment from a Colorado commissioner during a public hearing. Quote, freedom of religion and religion has been used to justify all kinds of discrimination throughout history, whether it be slavery, whether it be the Holocaust. And to me, it is one of the most despicable pieces of rhetoric that people can use to use their religion to hurt others. The opinion called such language degrading of Mr. Phillips' religion and inappropriate for a commission charged with, quote, fair and neutral enforcement of Colorado's anti-discrimination law, a law that protects discrimination on the basis of religion as well as sexual orientation. Here's a recap of how the legal action started. Back in July of year 2012, Mr. Mullins and Mr. Craig went to Mr. Phillips' Masterpiece Cake Shop in Lakewood to order a cake for a party to celebrate their planned marriage in Massachusetts later that year. But Mr. Phillips refused, saying it was, quote, his standard business practice not to provide cakes for same-sex weddings. Instead, he offered them other products, like birthday cakes and biscuits. Mr. Phillips argued, creative artists have a right to decide what they sell. As the Supreme Court verdict notes, Mr. Phillips told the couple, saying, quote, I'll make your birthday cakes, shower cakes, sell you cookies and brownies. I just don't make cakes for same-sex weddings, because doing so will amount to personally endorsing something that directly goes against the teachings of the Bible. Colorado is one of the 22 states that includes sexual orientation in its anti-discrimination law, which allowed Mr. Craig and Mr. Mullins to win their cases before the state's Civil Rights Commission. The two justices that disagreed with the ruling was Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor. Justice Ginsburg wrote that she strongly disagreed with the court's decision, saying, quote, Phillips would not sell to Craig and Mullins for no reason other than their sexual orientation, a cake of a kind he regularly sold to others. What matters is that Phillips would not provide a good or service to a same-sex couple that he would provide to a heterosexual couple. For more news updates, subscribe to our channel.